Some countries ask you to look. Rwanda asks you to listen. Listen to the forests before you see them. Listen to the rain before it falls. Listen to the silence that exists between 1,000 hills. Because somewhere inside those hills lives one of the rarest animals on Earth. Somewhere beyond the clouds, an ancient rainforest has been growing for millions of years. And somewhere beyond the next valley, a country once known for tragedy has quietly become one of Africa's greatest conservation success stories. That is the Rwanda most people never hear about. Over the next journey, we'll climb volcanoes, walk through rainforests suspended above the ground, cross lakes that seem to have no end, search for mountain gorillas in the mist, and discover why one of Africa's smallest countries leaves one of its biggest impressions. This is Rwanda, the land of 1,000 hills. The aircraft begins its descent. Clouds drift beneath the wings. Green hills emerge one after another. Then another. Then another. The landscape never seems to flatten. Every horizon reveals another ridge, another valley, another river. The nickname is not poetry, it is geography. Rwanda covers just over 26,000 square kilometers. One of Africa's smallest countries, yet almost every kilometer rises and falls like a slow-moving ocean frozen in green. Mountains become hills, hills become valleys, valleys become rivers. Nothing here remains level for long. The first city appears. Clean streets, tree-lined avenues, order, calm. This is Kigali, the capital of Rwanda. A city that surprises almost everyone who visits, not because it is enormous, but because it feels remarkably peaceful. Traffic moves, people walk, motorcycles wait patiently at intersections. Plastic bags have long been banned. Monthly community cleanup days help keep neighborhoods remarkably tidy. The result is visible everywhere. Cleanliness here is not decoration, it is culture. It is participation. It is a decision made millions of times, every single day. But Kigali is only the beginning. The real story begins beyond the city. The road leaves the capital. Buildings slowly disappear behind rolling hills. Banana groves replace concrete. Tea plantations appear across distant slopes. Children wave from roadside villages. The countryside unfolds like a painting in constant motion. Every turn reveals another landscape. Every climb opens another view. It becomes impossible to count the hills. Perhaps that is why nobody ever tried. The morning mist settles gently across the valleys. Farmers begin their work before sunrise. Terraced fields follow the curves of the land. Nothing appears forced. Everything follows the shape of the mountains themselves. The land decides. People adapt. It has always been this way. Rwanda sits along the Albertine Rift, one of Africa's richest regions for biodiversity. The mountains capture moisture from the air. Rain falls. Forests grow. Wildlife survives. An entire ecosystem built by elevation. By geography. By water. Few places on the continent pack so much life into so little space. And yet, the greatest surprise is still ahead, far to the northwest, where the clouds refuse to leave the mountains, where volcanoes stand shoulder to shoulder, and where an animal survives against extraordinary odds. The road continues climbing. The air grows cooler. The forests become denser. Mist hangs between giant trees. Visibility shortens. The mountains appear, then disappear again, hidden behind drifting clouds. These are the Virunga Mountains, an ancient chain of volcanic peaks stretching across Rwanda, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Some volcanoes sleep, some remain active. All of them shape the landscape below. Their fertile volcanic soils support forests unlike any other in East Africa. Life flourishes here because fire came first. The entrance appears quietly, a simple sign. A forest beyond it. This is Volcanoes National Park, one of Africa's smallest national parks, yet one of its most extraordinary. Every visitor arrives hoping for the same encounter, but nothing is guaranteed. There are no schedules, no performances, no promises, only possibility. The forest absorbs every sound. Bamboo sways gently in the wind. Giant tree ferns stretch toward the canopy. Birdsong echoes through the mist. Footsteps become slower. Voices become quieter. Somewhere ahead lives an entire family unlike any other on Earth. Not behind fences, not inside enclosures, completely wild. Every trek begins the same way. early morning, local guides, experienced trackers. A narrow trail disappearing into dense vegetation, fresh footprints. Broken bamboo, recently chewed stems. Small signs that mean everything to those who know how to read the forest. Hours may pass, sometimes less, sometimes more. The mountain decides, not the visitor. And then, without warning, movement. Dark fur between the leaves. A massive silverback lifts his head, calm, alert. Completely aware of every person standing nearby, yet entirely uninterested in proving his strength. Around him, young gorillas climb branches. Infants tumble through the undergrowth. Mothers watch quietly from the edge of the group. There is no performance, no dramatic soundtrack, only life, continuing exactly as it always has. For one extraordinary hour, humans become visitors. Nothing more, nothing less. It is often described as one of the greatest wildlife encounters on Earth, not because the gorillas are rare, although they are. Not because they are powerful, although they certainly are, but because they feel familiar. A glance, a gesture, a curious expression, something unexpectedly human reflected back through millions of years of evolution. The experience changes people. Many arrive hoping to see gorillas. Most leave thinking about themselves. But Rwanda's forests hold far more than gorillas. Hidden within these mountains, another story has been unfolding for millions of years. And that story begins above the trees. The Virunga Mountains hold another surprise, one that moves much faster. High above the forest floor, golden monkeys leap effortlessly between bamboo stems. Bright orange fur catches the morning sunlight. Their energy transforms the silent forest into constant motion. Unlike gorillas, golden monkeys rarely stay still. They climb, jump, pause for only a second, then disappear into another wall of green. They exist almost entirely within the bamboo forests of the Virunga region. A habitat found in only a small part of Africa. Protect the forest, and you protect the species. Lose the forest, and everything connected to it begins to disappear. The higher the trail climbs, the older the landscape begins to feel. These volcanoes were born through unimaginable violence. Molten rock, explosive eruptions, entire mountains rising from the earth. Today, dense forests cover their slopes. Birdsong replaces volcanic thunder.